Hello fellow humans, I'm Jackie and this is American Adventure. Today I'm talking about my experience with the K1 visa interview. So just so you know, we didn't have a lawyer. I think it took us, the whole process took us around, 9 months. But I'm not sure 100%. It could be 10 months or 8 months. So don't take this too seriously. I will look it up. But this is just a video where I talk about my personal, subjective experience going to the embassy in Germany, Frankfurt, and having my interview for the K1 FIANCÉ visa. I imagined it totally different, like not how it actually was. I arrived a day earlier in Frankfurt. I booked a hotel right next to the embassy so I wouldn't have to walk far or something, because my appointment was set at 7:30 a.m. So I needed to be there at 7:15 a.m. And so I drove there with my mom the day before. It's right in behind the embassy. Anyways, so I woke up that morning. I didn't have a good sleep. I was like waking up like several times that night because I was scared I would oversleep and not hear my alarm. So I was waking up several times the night and being like, oh god, what time is it? And then it was like, I don't know, 3 a.m. or something, and it's like, oh okay, you can sleep. That happened a lot. I woke up, showered, got myself ready. I already put everything out that I would need the night before, so I wouldn't have to search anything in the morning and just, can be relaxed. I went down to get something to eat, but I couldn't really eat. I think I ate half of a bread and then I was like, I'm gonna throw up. And so super nervous, I went to the embassy. My mom was coming with me to, give me some emotional support. And then when we arrived there at 7:15, there were a bunch of people already waiting there. The whole embassy in Frankfurt, it looks like a prison. It doesn't look really inviting, but basically you stand in line in front of it and you see those lights where it's like window 2 and window 1, and if one lights up, it's free. You can go there. They checked my passport, my appointment confirmation, and also my DS-160 confirmation page. So these 3 things I needed to show in front of the embassy before I even went inside. After they checked it and everything is okay, you are allowed to go in, and then it's just like at an airport, right? They have security, they have those beep 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 things, I don't know how you call them. You have to get out of your jacket and everything. Belts or something like that are not allowed, of course. You go through that and usually everything should be fine. You are not allowed to take any electronics in there and also some other devices and things, but they list it to you. They sent you a list with what is not required. So I couldn't take my phone in. I left it already with my mom so I don't even get in trouble or anything. But what they do, if you have something like that, they have little shelves for it, and then they give you a property card, and then when you come back after your appointment, you can get your properties back. You could do that, but I just tried to leave everything home or at my mom's basically. But for some reason, the doctor at the medical examination that you have to do before the interview told me to bring my x-ray CD for tuberculosis, right? So they had the x-ray of my upper body on a CD and I should bring it to the interview, but at the security they took it away from me and were like, you cannot take that CD with you. And I was like, okay. Later on they told me in the embassy that I'm supposed to bring it with me at the airport when I travel there. Anyways, after you went through security, you go outside again and then you follow a path until you are coming to the next house. And then you go in there and it's a huge room, super big. There was a guy standing, greeting me, giving me some papers where everything is explained what is going to happen today. And then he also directed me to where I have to go. For me, it was window 22, and this is the window where if you still have to pay your visa fee, they will, do that there. They will register you that you are there now. You will get a little ticket number for waiting, and I think that's it. Just, this is just from my memory. I didn't have a phone or anything with me. So if I missed anything or maybe forgot something, I'm really sorry. I'm really trying to remember everything, but you know, you can't. I was nervous. It was a nerve-wracking situation, so I probably don't remember everything. Anyways, I spoke English with that lady. She was really nice and really kind, welcoming, so it made me feel better with my nervousness, right? I sat down and I was waiting for my little number that was on my ticket to show up. So basically you have this wall where windows, right? Above the windows are like a light thingies, and then above all of them is a big light thingy. If it's the turn for the next person, a sound will pop up like ding. I don't know, I can't remember the sound, but ding. And then there would be the number of the ticket and then what window to go to, right? And so it was like, oh, it's W blah 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 and window 17 or something. I was waiting for my thingy to pop up, and what basically is you have that first conversation to register and maybe pay a fee if you have not. I think the K1 visa usually has to be paid before the interview, at least here in Germany. My number popped up and I went to a nice lady and then I spoke German with her, even though she was American, but her German was really on point, like really impressive. And so we chatted in German, and she rechecked my phone number. She rechecked if the address that I gave them is still the address where I want them to send my visa to. She explained how the visa package will look like and that I can't open the sealed envelope, of course. I think she rechecked Tanner's address, you know, just formalities, stuff that we still needed to give them to them, because I think something was missing from the affidavit of support that we needed from Tanner, so some financial things from Tanner, and then also our letter of intent, our I-129F visa petition was not valid anymore. It was 7 days or I think it was 4 days or 5 days not valid anymore, because it's only valid for a month. But as soon as it's approved, right? America approves it and then they have to send it to your country. I think it took them like 2 or 3 weeks, and then you have to wait for the embassy to contact you and be like, oh, now you can send us stuff, this is what we need, right? So that took a while, so we already lost a month just for that, and we had 3 months left. I think even a little bit longer than 1 month before. I was allowed to set my appointment, but I couldn't get any earlier date than the 16th of December. Was the earliest I could get, but it was only valid until the 7th. So what they needed was a new letter of intent that my fiance Tanner is still intending to marry me, that he is still free to marry, and why we didn't come earlier and let this, you know, run out of time. We just gave them the letter, it was no problem, that was all they needed. And yeah, after that conversation she said, okay, now you will sit down again, and when your number pops up you will talk to the consultant and your interview will begin. Here comes the interesting part for you, I guess. I waited for I don't know how long, because I didn't have my phone with me, no clock, and there was no clock in the room. For me it felt like forever, but I don't know. In general, I think I was in the embassy for 1 hour and 30 minutes. For me, I thought I would have to be there longer, so I think 1 hour 30 minutes is really quick, right? And they apologized to me that they are taking so long on that day because some people were sick and called in sick and were missing. It took even longer for them that day, so I'm really impressed how fast they worked. The second time my number popped up, oh my god, it's starting, the interview is starting, right? Because you never know, you're scared. It's depending on that person if you're getting the visa or not. But he was a really, really nice, kind man who was greeting me really friendly. The whole interview was in English and asked me how I'm doing. I was honest and told him I'm good, but I'm also a little nervous. And what he said was, don't worry about it. I'm just a human like you, so it's gonna be fine. I had to take an oath. I had to raise my right hand and I had to swear that I will only say the truth in that interview. And then they also took my fingerprints. And then he started the interview, and the first question he asked me was, where did you meet your fiance? The second question was, when did you meet your fiance? And then there's the part where it gets a little blurry for me because I was really nervous, right? I don't know in what order he asked me anymore, but he also asked me, what does your fiance do for work? Where does he live? if my fiance was married before, if he has children. Then he asked the same thing for me. So do you have children? Were you married before? And the last question was, are you pregnant? I'm sorry that I can't remember the other questions. It's just I was so nervous and I was so concentrating to, answer all of this correctly and to understand him, So yeah, this is all I can remember. I think it were the usual questions that they ask if they are not suspicious and they already believe you, but it's like a formality that they still have to do and check if, this is genuine and everything. I will link again some question samples in the video description so you can look over them, maybe practice them. After the last questions of me being pregnant or having children or being married before or something like that, he just told me, well, everything seems to be fine, so I will forward this afternoon, I think he said, and you should have your visa in about a week. And I don't know, I didn't expect him to say it in that way, right? I was always expecting like an official sentence like, congratulations, you have your visa, or congratulations, welcome to America, or something like that, right? But he was just telling it like we would still be in the interview. I don't know, I was processing what he said in my head, still kind of translating what just happened, and because I was happy at the same time, I said thank you in the weirdest way possible. My voice broke and I don't know how, I can't even like do it again, but it was something like thank you, and twice, like not just like thank you, like it was thank you. God damn, it was like I saw in his eyes that he probably thought that was kind of weird or something. Because I said it in such a weird way. I turned and began to leave with all of my stuff, all my papers, because you get them back. Everything you sent them, all your originals, you will get them back on that day. So I had everything and I just went away and I was putting everything together somehow and I was like, am I done now? That's it? I'm done now? I can leave? I was so confused and I was really scared that I may have to wait again or do something else, but I was like, no, that was it. He said he will get the visa, you can leave. Yeah, because it wasn't horrible or at all. It wasn't hard at all. All of those people in the embassy were so friendly and kind to me. I was really scared that they would be stricter or more dominant, but they were just friendly people that are just doing their job and trying to look out for who's really coming into their country. I think because some people asked me like, how long did it take? How long did the whole interview take? And I can't tell because I was nervous and I didn't have a clock. But I would say maybe 15 minutes, maybe, I don't know, maybe 10 to 20 minutes, something in between. So I would say 15 minutes for everything. But I wouldn't swear on that because I'm really bad at like measuring time when I'm nervous. So yeah, that was my experience. For the K1 visa. Hello people. Yeah, I have a new haircut. But the thing is, I'm cutting the video right now. I finally found the time. I forgot to do like an ending card and saying goodbye or something like that. So yeah, that was my experience of the K1 visa interview. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, comment down below and I will try to help and answer you. Just remember, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a professional visa. I don't know how you call those agencies that really can help you with those things. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and see you soon.